Welcome to this neighborhood, neighbor.
I am the Martian ambassador.
Des Moines and all of central Iowa, welcome to Max World Live. Max World is your world. Every day we talk about the issues and topics that matter most to you. And as always, it's your voice we want to hear in Max World. So join the conversation by calling 515-244-0077. And now, here's the host of Max World Live, J. Michael McCoy.
7 minutes after 3 o'clock on a 21st day of January in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. Weather forecast, listen to this. It's going to get warmer, but we're going to get a little snow. I don't know how that works. The crowd goes wild. High tomorrow of around 27. We got up to 31 at about 2:40 this afternoon. It is already back down to 30.
Still a heat wave.
30 minutes later. It feels warmer out there, doesn't it?
Oh, man, yeah.
So, but we may get some precipitation messing up the skies later on this weekend. Currently, as I said, 30 degrees in the capital city. It's Max World Live here on a Thursday afternoon, Robert.
Just be happy you're not living in Washington, D.C. Quarter inch of snow and 100 accidents within, a few hours.
Well, our home office is in Winston-Salem, and they're basically shutting down tomorrow.
Yeah, they are. It is the winter apocalypse in North Carolina. I mean, those areas just aren't equipped for this kind of weather is the thing. It's not, we laugh because, well, if we got that much snow, it wouldn't be a big deal. But we also have, we've got the treatment on the ground. We've got the snow movers and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think about the fact that even when we're going from good weather to bad weather, Iowans forget initially how to drive.
Absolutely.
Some
People
of those
just get out there and drive like it's no big deal.
Some of those counties in Georgia and North Carolina have like a snowplow per county.
Right.
So they're not even equipped to.
They're not. But Bob brings up a good point, too, and I always think it's funny. Not funny. I shouldn't say it's funny. One of the most common things bought every Christmas, Mac, is a lot of people get new cars. Mm-hmm. And, when you're driving a new car on winter weather conditions, you just don't know how to control that vehicle that you'd been driving last year for the last 5 years. Driving a new car in winter conditions is all the more difficult. So people need to remember that, too.
When you grew up learning to drive,
yes,
did you start in front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive?
I wouldn't remember, to be honest with you.
Manual or automatic?
Automatic.
Well, I disagree with you guys on something.
Okay.
I don't think we freak out as Iowans when we get heavy snow and ice. I think we're actually very good drivers in snow and ice. Obviously, snow and ice is an unmanageable situation sometimes, especially black ice. There's no way for you to know that it's there, and your car hits it, and, what are you going to do, put your spikes out? So I think we do pretty good. I think if you look at the number of accidents and hazardous road things that happen during a snowstorm or like that, I don't think we're so bad.
I once hit black ice at 90 mile an hour.
What were you doing going 90 mile an hour, you scofflaw?
I was trying to follow somebody that was...
It's not my fault. I was following somebody. I'm not responsible for my actions.
I didn't have no cell phone. We had some walkie-talkies that gave out. We was on a trip to California, and I somehow lost him on the interstate because we got caught in some traffic in a semi and whatever. But anyway, he was nowhere in sight when I come out of the traffic jam, and I was trying to catch up with him around Amarillo, Texas on Interstate 40, and I hit black ice at 90 mile an hour.
And what happened?
I'm sitting here, ain't I?
Oh, prayers can never be answered. You can pray and pray and pray. Well, there was an accident this morning that's kind of interesting. 2 people have been arrested after leading Urbandale police on a high-speed chase that started with a seatbelt violation and ended with a car crashed into a house. At about 11:30 this morning, police tried to stop the vehicle at 64th Street and Douglas Avenue over a seatbelt violation. Now, you realize that's right here.
Yeah.
That's right here at the mall. That's like one street over from the mall, west of the mall. Over a seatbelt violation, but the driver of the car refused to stop, leading police on a short, high-speed chase through several side streets that reached up to 100 mile an hour. The vehicle then crashed into the garage of a home at 4601 84th Street in Urbandale. An elderly man was inside but not injured. After crashing into the home, the vehicle's driver and passenger attempted to flee on foot before they were arrested. Neither person sustained major injuries. Both were examined by medical personnel on the scene and taken to jail. Imagine sitting in your house and boom, here comes and apparently the SUV that we're driving came in through the back of the garage and then went out where the garage door was.
Wow.
So they came the other way. There's a picture on the web, that from WHO television.
Wow.
Everybody's been wondering what's going on at 86th and Hickman. You know, Dolls sat there on the southwest corner for so long. That store was not converted into a Super Saver or a Price Chopper or whatever it is. Meanwhile, they destroyed the parking lot and they are erecting another building. Guess what it's going to be?
Pizza Ranch.
Specialty grocery store.
In the other store that they're building?
In the brand new building. It's called Natural Grocers. It will open its first store, 8650 86th Street in Clive, in the parking lot of the former Dolls store. The Denver-based company offers fresh produce that is certified organic by the USDA, along with other organic and natural products. The store will feature a mix of national brands and locally grown, raised, and manufactured products from Iowa. The company said it also will offer a large selection of vitamins and supplements.
Now this is the building they're building closer to the corner, not sitting back where the Dolls was.
No, that building is still sitting there.
Okay.
And I don't. Parking regulations are not going to allow that Dolls store and this new store to open on the same piece of ground. There's not enough parking for both buildings. You understand how that works?
Sure, I can understand.
City will come in and say, all right, if you're going to have a 9,000 square foot building, you've got to have this much parking. And if you don't, you can't.
Right.
So obviously that Dolls building at some point is going to come down.
For parking.
Or it's going to get chopped in half or something. I don't know. I should just stop someday and find out what the plan of the developer is.
So the new building is going up in the parking, what was the parking lot?
Right.
Well, then they'll have to tear down the Dolls for parking.
Well, somewhere along the line that makes sense. I just don't know.
I don't think this doesn't sound like the description of that place and the size of that building on that corner. It doesn't sound like it's a very big grocery store, though.
No, it's a specialty store.
Right. So I mean, they may not be required to have as much parking anyway.
You know, you've got Whole Foods.
Right.
You've got what's that? Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
And now you've got another one that opened up out there on Mill Civic Parkway, right across from Glen Oaks.
Oh, yes.
And Dolls, quite frankly, or not Dolls, I'm sorry, Hy-Vee has done a pretty good job of adding organic stuff. So
yeah, especially the Hy-Vee that's just up the street from that on 86th and Douglas. Just that one's really nice.
Now,
they've got great organic.
Did this pass the Ed Fallon test? Does it sell locally?
Yeah, well, it says it does. It says it national brands as well as locally Iowa raised. Now, if you're there on February 9th at 7:55, the first 60 people in line will get gift cards worth $5, $10, $25, $50, and $100, and that'll be revealed at the checkout. Store's regular hours will be 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Sunday. I don't know. I'm ignorant when it comes to that market. And I don't mean that grocery market. I mean that industry, the organic
thing.
Is it really that big a deal? I mean, I look at the prices. We go into Whole Foods every once in a while because my wife's got a vitamin there that she takes. And I'll look at the stuff on the I'm a peanut butter fan. I eat peanut butter by the spoon. Their peanut butter is like 33% more than anybody else's, but it's quote unquote organic.
Well, part of that is supply and demand, right? I mean, how much are they making of that peanut butter as an example versus how many people are buying it? So that's what draws the price up. But also, you know, it's not mass produced, it's not mass manufactured. So the cost of anything goes down when you can produce.
And it's supposed to be grown without pesticides.
Sure.
Yeah, and there, I don't know if you've seen it, but you make your own peanut butter there.
Yeah, they got the grinders and all that.
Yeah, you choose the peanuts and it grinds and it goes in your own deal.
You know, I mean, people that shop at a farmer's market like that, you know, free-range chickens that can actually eat bugs and run around and actually, you know, just eat what they would normally eat. I hear incredible reports of the quality of the eggs is much higher. You can really taste the difference. You really experience a different going backwards. A lot of times, like with the eggs, from what I understand, you go from the mass-produced egg up to the free-range chicken, you know, that somebody owns or you own. You experience the quality of the egg when you go up, not very much, but when you go back, when you have sort of a mass-produced eggs, you can kind of tell that there's just not much to it.
Now, Mac is a self-proclaimed venison connoisseur,
Venison.
right? You
Deer.
like venison, deer.
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 Well, yeah.
Okay, well,
lamb. I like lamb
Eat,
better.
test out eating Iowa corn-fed deer versus some free-range deer down in the Southwest eating tumbleweeds and whatever. And if you can't taste the difference between those two things, the corn-fed animals is much tastier, in my opinion.
Well, it stands to reason that what goes in is what comes out, right? I mean, if what an animal is consuming results in what
that's my argument against pork.
Oh my!
See what you did, Mac? See what you did? You brought up pork.
I didn't bring up pork. Porky Pig over here.
We had pork at our church dinner last night.
What?
At church, we ate pork. That's how crazy we are.
But you said something key. What goes in is key to what the animal you're eating. What goes in?
Sure, but you can have a corn-fed pig.
Yeah, Frank.
What about that?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, Wendy's on the phone. I don't want to take her call right now because she wants to talk a little bit about organic foods. We'll do that after we come back, and you've got the community calendar.
What number did she call, Mac?
She called 244-0077. And you can also call the Service Legends Truth text line.
Or text it.
At
call
809. Text it.
Yeah, you send a text to 809.
Shoot us a text.
Shoot us a text at the Service Legends.
At 809-0993. Both of those are places that you can reach us because it is your voice we want to hear on a Thursday afternoon live here in Mac's World on the only station that tells the truth all the time because Jesus tells us we have to. 99.3. This is the truth.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens, rock on! This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
21 minutes after the hour, sunshine and 30 degrees outside. Some snow coming to mess up the skies. Currently, again, 30 degrees in the capital city. 21 minutes after. Oh, listen to this. It's 21 minutes after the hour on what? The 21st day of January.
There it is.
2 hours ago, we would have been 121 on 121. Where was I? Oh, I was listening to Dr. Brown. All right, coming up later on, why you could never be a Muslim. A brand new Mexican restaurant coming. Hillary Clinton is digging into Bernie a little bit more. And Waukee, if they haven't had everything new come their way, now they've got a brand new big screen theater coming. And we're going to talk a little bit more about organic food with Wendy first. But, Maestro, let's have some community calendar music. Please. Now.
Ready to go with the thing. Hey, I just want to remind everybody, we do have some more events, and I will add them just as quick as I can. But continue to send those in at 515-251-2663. That is the business office for the station here, 515-251-2663. You go to a church somewhere. What is your church doing? We want to know about it. Call and let us know so we can get it on the air and advertise that at no cost to you. 515-251-2663. Here's a couple of events coming up. Of course, Winter Jam is this Friday at Wells Fargo Arena. 10 bands, $10. More details at 2016.jamtour.com. This Saturday, we've been talking a lot about this. Steve Deace will be releasing his fourth book. This is his first work of nonfiction. They're having a pre-release party for this book called A Nefarious Plot. That's this Saturday, January 23rd at Harvest Bible Chapel in Grimes, formerly the Gord's House. That book signing is happening from 1 to 3 p.m., and this is confirmed now. Rafael Cruz will be in attendance at that event, and he himself will have a new book as well that he'll be signing copies of on that day.
Why My Son is Not an Illegal Alien?
Yeah, I don't think that's the title of his book. Also, on Sunday, there's an adoption support group at Walnut Creek Church. This is presented by Beauty Amidst the Ashes. BeautyAmidstTheAshes.com for details. That's this Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. And next week, Tuesday, is the Believer in Civic Involvement Conference. I'm going to be there. I invite you to join me. The featured speaker is Dr. Russell Moore. He is the president of the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission. This is a session open to everyone. It's Tuesday, January 26th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. at First Family Church in Ankeny. It's free. Just show up at 6:30. Come say hi to me if you're there. And another thing I'm going to be at is the Marriage Conference.
Oh, it's all about me. Me.
Were you going to come to any of these? No.
No, it's after dark.
Yeah. Nothing good happens after dark.
I don't go out after dark.
All right. So the What Did You Expect Marriage Conference is January 29th and 30th. That's a Friday night and a Saturday morning before lunch. Grace Church in Des Moines is putting that on. Details at gracehome.com. That is where Paul Tripp will be speaking.
Cool dude.
Cool dude. Very cool, hip dude. Thank you so much. The community calendar is sponsored by MyPrepperDirect.com right now. MyPrepperDirect is offering 10% off all water filtration products when you enter promo code TRUTH at checkout. It's better to be prepared than scared. Go to MyPrepperDirect.com today.
You know, I've got a story coming up a little bit later from WHO Television that compares Des Moines water to Flint, Michigan water.
Really?
Yeah, and no, we're not in the same stream as Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised at how our water is not. And you know when that comes dangerous is for newborn and infants,
right,
and old guys like me. The older you get,
and old guys like Frank,
the older you get, the less our built-in filtration systems, our livers and our kidneys, are able to filter out that constant bombardment of whatever's in our water. And I'm really starting to pay attention. I mean, I try to drink about 160 ounces of water a day, okay? That would be half my weight in ounces, because not half my weight. No, excuse me, I'm not 320 pounds. But, and it's all tap water.
Yeah.
So I'm going to worry about that. All right, I want to go to the phones where the lovely Wendy is standing by from Nevada, Iowa. How are you, Wendy?
Hi, Mac. I'm good.
So, do you understand organic food better than I do?
Well, I'll just tell you my experience. I like to eat healthy, and there are certain things that I do buy organic. I was at a grocery. I bought a head or some broccoli from a certain store, and even after washing it off, and brushing it, I bit into the broccoli, and my mouth started to
Your mouth started to what?
burning after I bit into some broccoli. And so broccoli is one thing that I buy organic. The carrots that I was buying had a bitter taste to them. Carrots should not have a bitter taste. So I buy organic carrots, and the majority of my vegetables I like to buy organic.
You cut out there for a second. Did you say your mouth was burning when you bit into broccoli?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, now, is it
all those chemicals and stuff that they spray on them?
Is it about taste or is it about safety?
Both.
Both.
Taste, the vegetables that are not organic, I had forgotten what vegetables actually taste like until I started buying organic.
Really?
Because they just don't, there's no sweetness to them, and there's just a huge difference. And I think that, the things that I buy, it's worth the extra money for me. And then the nutritional value isn't there either.
Now, how do you like your beef, your pork, your chicken? Does that need to be free range?
I'm a vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian, so you don't eat any meat.
No, I haven't eaten meat in about 4 years.
Now, does that mean you don't eat anything that had a face? I mean, do you eat fish?
I don't eat fish or meat. The meat, all the steroids and everything they're pumping into these animals to get them bigger, that's all going into the muscle, and we're eating all of that.
What's your feelings on dairy products?
I try and limit my dairy just because, again, it's coming from a steroid-fed animal.
And Wendy, we know each other, so I want you to be truthful with me. Am I ignorant and naive on what I'm putting in my body?
Give him the straight dope.
Yeah? Okay. All right.
I think so. I don't think a lot of people... I think we're going to be judged by God. Excuse me. I think a lot of people... We're going to be... Our bodies are the temple of God. And I want to be very careful on what I put in my body because it is God's temple.
Well, I've gotten an F on that all my life. I mean, I truly have. I don't even think about that. I mean, I never did smoke, so that was never an issue. Not that I didn't try, but what I eat, man, I'm getting better with carbs, breads and cereals and pasta and things like that, but give me a good steak and make it medium rare, and if it moves, I'm ready to eat it.
I'll tell you one thing I found. I like to shop at Wheatfield in Ames.
Well, wait, hold on. What's it called?
Wheatfield.
Wheatfields.
Yeah, it's a co-op.
Oh, okay.
It's all local produce. But I found some black bean pasta.
Some black bean pasta?
Black bean pasta. It's absolutely wonderful. For vegetarians, we supplement with a lot of beans for our protein.
I didn't know that.
Any way we can eat beans is a good thing.
Well, Wendy,
beans.
Even in Genesis, when God allowed meat eating for everyone and eat whatever meat wasn't considered sin, he strictly forbade the eating of blood.
Right.
And that was for a purpose, because of the bloodborne pathogens that carry disease into our own bloodstreams, etc. The Jews kind of took it to an extreme. They washed a piece of meat till it was almost white. But I guess the point is that if we do eat meat, and I do eat some meat, I'm not a strict vegetarian. There's certain meats I won't eat, but I definitely cook my meat done.
And then Jesus said he proclaims all things clean.
No, I didn't proclaim all things clean.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Okay. Wendy, thank you very much. As always, I appreciate you listening, and you're always welcome here on the radio on Mac's World.
One more quick thing. For the meat eaters out there, check out how carbon monoxide is being insert it into meat to keep it looking fresh.
Carbon monoxide is being pumped into meat.
Is it carbon monoxide, or there's some other gas thing that's being pumped into the meat to keep it looking fresh?
All right. I'll Google
There's lots of weird stuff going on out there.
I'll
Okay,
Google
thank
it.
you.
Thank you very much for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See, I just don't want to work that hard. You know, we've got this fitness thing coming up in February.
Yeah.
It's hard enough for me to, try to eat right. Now I have to eat. What would that be? Healthy? No.
Healthy is the goal. I think we should consider what we eat. The reality is, myself included, myself especially, don't consider what we put into our body, and that's probably not the best thing.
I will guarantee the two of you, if you follow through on this Inspire thing, your attitudes about what you eat will change.
I'm sure they will. Eat on purpose. That's what they say.
All right.
Got some news, huh, Mac?
Yeah. WHO Television has been put out a report. And I know this is going to sound like a commercial, but it's not. But we do have a client called MyPrepperDirect.com. They work very hard to bring us survival things, not military-style meals, but things that we can put in our basements or in the backseat of our cars. I always worry about my kids traveling. And, I mean, one of my kids is 40, and I still worry about them traveling.
Oh, yeah.
But they've got all kinds of stuff. But one of the things they have is this portable water bottle filtration system. And it's one bottle, and it works over and over and over and over. Well, if you could see some of the stuff that they're pulling out of our water, I mean, we hear about nitrates because of farmers in the area upstream. Well, what about lead? Bob talks about fluoride. He won't even brush his teeth with fluoride, let alone drink water with it.
You know, speaking of fluoride, too, that was one of the things that really blew me away, that when Judd Saul of My Prepper Direct was here in studio with us, that he mentioned that these are extreme water filters. This is not like the Brita water filter that you're going to buy off the shelf at Target or Walmart, something like that. These are pretty extreme filters, and they will filter out even fluoride out of the water. So if you're concerned about consuming fluoride, MyPrepperDirect.com has these pitchers that you can use that have this extreme water filter in it, and it'll get all that stuff out of there, especially as as WHO Television has reported that our water might be in some bad shape as well, like in Flint, Michigan.
Bob's got the story on Google off of USA Today.
Of what?
Using carbon monoxide to keep meat red it lasts like 20 days.
And so what do they put it into the meat, or they just package it in the meat, or what?
I haven't read it. I can't tell. I haven't read it yet, how they do it.
All right, well, you check into that and then let us know. When we come back, a brand new upscale Mexican restaurant that won't have tacos or burritos. See, once again, why am I reading all these stories? I'm just ruining my appetite for everything.
Making you think about food. Hey, and you know what? Here at the radio station, we run a lot of political ads as a radio station, and we've got a copy of the newest Donald Trump ad, and we're going to try to play it later, if that's okay with you, Mac. I want you guys to hear this. I was shocked when this came down the pike, what Donald Trump is trying to sneak past us here.
All right, that's coming up next here live in Mac's World. I'm J. Michael McCoy with Chris and Bob and Frank and Ryan, and most importantly with you. You're the voice I want to hear in Mac's World at 244-0077 right here on The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed, fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed right or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're gonna make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
"22 minutes before the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News, and then Hank the Bible Answer Man at 1-888-ASK-HANK. I would recommend that you call now if you want to talk to him. I know it's 20 minutes early, but those lines fill up fast.
An hour and 20 minutes early.
Or an hour and... Oh, I'm sorry. I got it wrong. I'm sorry. That's not what's coming up at 4 o'clock. That's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. Don't call Hank the Bible Answer. Well, you'll probably get in and on hold, but it'd be a long hour and 20 minutes or more. But Hank the Bible Answer Man coming up at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Next, I'm going to introduce you to a family who is leaving their roots of Des Moines, Iowa, and moving into the heart of Mormon land to plant a Christian church out of First Family Church in Ankeny with Todd Stiles. That couple is here. We'll meet them. We'll find out their passion and a little bit more about Mormonism that perhaps maybe you don't know, or perhaps you do and you've ignored it. Today, the truth, and only the truth, here live in Mac's World on 99.3. All right, couple things coming to Des Moines. I always like to talk to people about what's new coming to Des Moines. Do you like Mexican? Well, you like all kinds. Is there any kind of food you don't like?
You know, recently, if you would have asked me, 48 hours ago, I would have said I don't like the Made Right sandwich, not right from that restaurant, but those loose meat sandwiches.
Yeah.
And then we have the Made Right restaurant here in the mall, and I said, you know what, if I'm going to gripe about it, I'm going to have the, quote, best of the best. And I went down there and I had me an original Made Right, and I liked it. So I'm willing to give anything a try. So no, there's nothing at this point I dislike to my knowledge.
And if you want to make a homemade loose meat sandwich, my mother has the best recipe in the world, and it's really easy. Get a pound of ground beef, fairly lean. Get a can of Campbell's. What was that called? What was that? Chicken
gumbo.
Chicken gumbo, and a couple squirts of yellow mustard, and put that in a frying pan and warm that up. And that's what the Germans would call a yum-yum. Or you'd call it a Made Right. Little different, though. It's spiced a little different. All right, so, I don't know. You're from Texas.
Yes,
so
sir.
you probably have had different levels of Mexican food.
Yes.
I've had 2 levels of Mexican food.
Well, I would say we have what's called Tex-Mex. Okay, so it's our own brand of Mexican food. So I eat Tex-Mex. That's what I like.
All right. Well, to me, there's 2 levels.
Okay.
There's Taco John's. Okay.
All right.
And then there's all the different Mexican restaurants, the chain Mexican restaurants.
I see what you're saying. There's like the fast food type
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And then there's the other kind. And I find a difference between them. And if you want to find common ground, it's Tasty Tacos. You ever been to Tasty Tacos?
I like Tasty Taco. Yeah. I don't.
If you get their steak burritos.
I've never had that. I just get the original. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better than a Taco John's or a Taco Bell.
Absolutely.
And it's not as good as Del's Rio's downtown, which is kind of a upscale Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I was going to say
have you ever been in Mexico and ate real Mexican food?
No.
Okay.
Well, there's a brand new place opening at 2925 Ingersoll Avenue, and it'll be called Candela. Candela, and it's being described as an upscale, modern, elegant Mexican restaurant. That according to the owner, Benjamin Elder. Now, upscale, modern, and elegant has never gone with the term Mexican restaurant.
Well, and that's because, now I'm going to say this is going to sound mean, in Iowa, it hasn't. That's very common in Texas. They're very nice, high-end sort of, again, it's using the flavors of Mexico, of the traditional Mexican flavors, and making it fancy.
Candela will serve lunch and dinner, although Elder is not ready to reveal secret the restaurant's menu or the chef. What? But he did say, quote, imagine a menu not with tacos and burritos. Well, that's not Mexican. I mean, that'd be like going to a Greek restaurant. They have their own euros. The eatery will seat about 60. It'll offer beer, wine, and margaritas. Elder has covered the windows. Shh. Of the restaurant while decor changes. It should be open, I don't know, end of January. We're almost there. So there you go. I mean, just another, and I don't know if you know this, but there's a saying in the restaurant industry that if it goes in Des Moines, it'll go anywhere.
Yeah, was it you who said that the McRib was tested out here?
Yeah, the McRib was tested in Des Moines, Iowa.
And that's something.
And most chain restaurants will come to Des Moines first because we're a meat and potatoes kind of state.
Yes.
And if we can eat elegant, modern, upscale Mexican food, then they figured it can go anywhere in the United States. So I'm a foodie, and so I like to try different restaurants. I very rarely go to a chain restaurant, usually just go to local restaurants, locally owned.
So that's like the old Life commercial. If Mikey eats it, it must be okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what Des Moines is. I mean, everything gets tested in Des Moines. Everything. The other thing that's new that's coming that's really kind of nice is Waukee. I mean, if they don't have everything else already, they're getting their own 12-screen theater called the Palms. Not the Psalms, the Palms. The movie theater company bought 15 acres on the northwest corner of Northeast Westgate Drive and Hickman Road for about $2.4 million, says Brian Fridley, vice president of Fridley Theaters. The company is in the early design stages, but they expect construction to begin this summer and should open like a year from now. Depending on the size and the scope of the project, some of the land purchased by the company could also be used for additional development. This thing, now listen to this. This thing is going to be 9 miles from Windsong, Cobblestone, and Century Theaters at Jordan Creek. So there will be 4 12-screen theaters or bigger within a 9-mile radius. I don't know. I thought movie theaters were heading out. Apparently not.
Well, it's about convenience and the modern technology, right? If they got the big sound system, if they've got the nice digital screens, because now there's like a whole new, I wouldn't say whole new, but I mean like 3D technology has improved quite a bit. So you've got to have all the new digital stuff plus specialized seating and things like that,
Well, and they all have restaurant style food delivered to your table at the theater. I mean, Flicks Brew. Have you been to Flicks Brew yet?
Yeah.
All right, Bob, you were at Flicks Brew last week. Frank, have you been there yet? No. Really, Frank, you should get out of the house sometimes. This is the new phase in restaurants, is that you order something and then they very quietly bring it to you, and you've got like a little table with a pull-out
Now, are you saying this one in Waukee is going to have that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and Cobblestone is converting to that right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and now I would assume Century is coming up pretty soon. They're going to have to do that. I mean, they've been open 10 years now.
Right.
I don't know. Do you realize that? Jordan Creek has been open for 10 years. I can remember when they proposed Jordan Creek, I named it the Dallas County Duck Pond. And, of course, I made enemies in West Des Moines. I always do. And everybody was so excited for all these stores that we had never had before. And they were coming here, and it was a big deal. And in the end, it's Yonkers, it's Dillard's, it's a movie theater, and it's a food court. In the end, it's still all of those things.
But they basically robbed Peter to pay Paul.
Well, because
they basically put Valley West out of business and Southridge out of business. So, what are they accomplishing?
Have you been down to Merle Hay? Have you ever been to 6 floors down below us? It's a ghost town. It is a ghost town down there with tons of empty space. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? All right, so we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, Hillary Clinton has started digging in more sharply against Bernie Sanders. Sanders, who is leading New Hampshire and is tied with Clinton in some different polls. And also the Donald J. Trump ad that you're going to hear on this station. But I want you to tell me if you like it or not. Jerry Falwell Jr. from Liberty College is the endorsee.
It kind of sounds like it. You got to hear it. I mean, you got to hear it.
We'll play that for you when we come back.
Apparently, Hillary's starting to feel some burn.
She's starting to feel the burn. What are you going to do? That's pretty bad if Hillary's feeling the burn.
Don't quit your day job, Frank. Seriously. All right, we're coming up live here on The Truth, and we thank you for listening. I'm J. Michael McCoy, 244-0077. That's the line. You can tell us what you're thinking. It's your voice we want to hear on The Truth. Oh, and we've got a text to read next, too. Coming back live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
That's not good. That's not good. It's not ever good. Oh, I'm sorry. 10 minutes before 4. 3:50, Salem Radio Network News coming up in a minute. You're going to meet Joe and Amy Earl. They are taking their 3 children, 6, 4, and 1.5, to Gunnison, Utah. Not Colorado, Gunnison, Utah. And it's a church plant for First Family Church in the midst of Mormon land. We'll talk to Joe and Amy coming up next. All right, do we have that ad?
Yes, Ryan has it. I'm sorry, yeah.
All right, so this is an ad that the Trump candidacy, the Trump campaign,
Trump for president, has submitted,
released to radio stations. And we'll play it twice for you, I promise. But I want you to hear it. Just sit back and listen.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Jerry Falwell Jr., president of Liberty University, talks about Donald Trump.
I see a lot of parallels between my father and Donald Trump. Like Mr. Trump, Dad would speak his mind. He would make statements that were politically incorrect. He speaks the truth publicly, even if it is uncomfortable for people to hear. Dad explained that when he walked into the voting booth, he wasn't electing a Sunday school teacher or a pastor or even a president who shared his theological beliefs. He was electing the President of the United States to lead a nation. Matthew 7:16 tells us that by their fruits ye shall know them. Donald Trump's life has borne fruit that has provided jobs to multitudes of people. I've seen firsthand that his staff loves him and is loyal to him because of his servant leadership. In my opinion, Donald Trump lives a life of loving and helping others, as Jesus taught in the Great Commandment.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President, Inc.
All right, Mike Carbone, who is our vice president, put this on Facebook 45 minutes ago. And Mike's a good guy. He's also a pastor. I am shocked and appalled. As a talk radio operator with a station in Iowa, I get to preview some stuff before others do. By this time tomorrow, you will hear ads with Jerry Falwell Jr. endorsing Donald J. Trump and misusing the Bible to do so. God help him for abusing his ministry. I like Donald Trump, Michael goes on to say, but I will not be fooled into mindless sheepdom by some big-name endorser. Vote for him if you like. Vote against him if you like, but don't let anyone snow you into believing that Donald Trump is a Christian evangelical. He is not. Think for yourselves, people, and think before you invoke the name of our Savior, Jesus, to support a human politician. Appalling.
You know, we talked about this yesterday when Trump was at Liberty University. It was very obvious that he was pandering. It was very obvious that he was trying to reach evangelicals. Yep. And I'm going to tell you, you know, I've put my foot in my mouth many times on this program, on this radio station in regards to Trump. I have respect for the man. But when he's pandering this much, my respect for him goes down a little bit. I want
it should.
You know, here in this ad, Jerry Falwell Jr. said he's a man who speaks the truth and he's politically incorrect. He is not being politically incorrect to pander to a room full of evangelicals. That's not being politically incorrect. That's trying to kiss up to a group.
Did our Governor Branstad pander to Christians when he said he was going to defund Planned Parenthood? Has he kept that promise?
That's just a lie.
I'm getting tired as a conservative voter of all politicians pandering to the conservative right, and then they go up to D.C. and they do exactly opposite of what they promised to do.
Right. I would rather someone not pander to me and just say, these are the things that I care about. These are the things my presidency is going to be about. These are the things I'm going to do. And if I align with those, then great. All right. There's a lot of reasons to vote for Trump, but that bothers me, Mac.
All right, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Two scenarios.
What
if that same commercial, read by Jerry Falwell Jr., was about Ted Cruz? What if that same commercial, read by Jerry Falwell Jr., was about Marco Rubio? Marco Rubio, who has been immensely transparent with his faith. Ted Cruz, which has become the darling of the evangelical crowd. I don't doubt either one of those men's hearts or their fruits. But what if that ad, because you and I have both been impressed by Marco Rubio and his testimony that he's put out several times.
Yeah, I have no doubt that his faith is incredibly genuine. Yeah.
All right, so what if that ad read by Jerry Falwell Jr., same copy, but it was an endorsement for Marco Rubio? Then how would you feel about it?
Wow, that's a good question.
See, that changes everything. Because you believe, your words, you believe that Trump is pandering for votes. You don't believe Marco Rubio is pandering for votes when he speaks of his faith and shares his testimony. It comes down to you and your, what's the word I want here? Discernment, not about Jerry Falwell Jr., but about Donald Trump. Not about Jerry Falwell Jr., but about Marco Rubio. You know, don't put down your ability to discern. That's a God-given gift you have.
But I've got a question.
You shouldn't feel bad, Chris.
I've got a question about Jerry Falwell Jr. using that scripture. Therefore, by their fruits you will know them.
That's right.
Is he using it correctly?
No, and I agree with Mike Carbone. He is misusing that verse. He's using that language to say you can know what kind of a guy Trump is because he's nice to people and he's generous with his money and that kind of stuff. And that may be completely true, and I completely believe that. I think Donald Trump is an incredibly generous man. He's very kind. Everybody that knows him, especially those who know him personally, think he's incredibly nice. I don't doubt any of that, but I think you're absolutely right. What's it is upsetting that Jerry Falwell, as a man representing evangelicals, as the head of this school, speaking to evangelicals, using God's word in connection with this person just to bridge that gap between Trump and the evangelicals.
But if Trump is connected to the Holy Spirit, he's going to bear the fruits of the Spirit.
No doubt that Trump can be used to do exactly what God wants him to do.
So we're supposed to be, while we don't judge people, we're allowed to be fruit inspectors.
Interesting thing. We are, but that's not the context of that verse, and Jerry Falwell should know better. He can say that I think Donald Trump's a great guy and you should consider voting for him. It feels kind of disingenuous. Mike Ferris, by the way, who used to be the head of the Moral Majority, is also upset with Jerry Falwell Jr. for the same reason. Now, Trump, vote for Trump or not, I agree with Mike. It's not about whether or not you vote for Trump. It's just kind of, it makes you feel funny.
This is the first time we as Iowans in the caucus process have had someone who we question whether their declaration of faith is from the heart, is genuine. Yeah, that's a good word. We've never had that before. We didn't doubt Huckabee. We doubted Romney. We knew he was genuine in his faith. We just questioned his faith, which we'll talk about next hour. Pat Robertson, we never doubted him. George Bush Jr. in one of the first debates was asked who he admires the most, and his answer was Jesus Christ.
Santorum.
Yeah, Santorum. So anyway, we'll talk more about faith and Mormonism with Joe and Amy Earl, who's coming up next here live on The Truth. That's right, The Truth, 99.3.